Hi, welcome to the video about Siem Reap. Cut to intro. We left Mapai Bay, sadly, and we got a boat to Sihanoukville, and then we had to hang out there for a couple of hours, and then we got a night bus to Siem Reap. It sounds like quite a lot of travel, it sounds like it'd be quite long, but actually it was really smooth. The boat was quite short to get to Sihanoukville, and then the night bus that we went on, I sort of did my research, spoke to a few people, and chose a really good bus company. So it meant that the night bus was actually really comfortable. We both slept really well, and it was really cool. And it was the first like proper night bus that we've been on with actual beds. So it was good that the first one was a comfortable one. On our first day in Siem Reap, we just sort of took it easy, had a little wander around. One thing that I saw online before we got there was a market called Made in Cambodia. It's as it sounds, stuff that's made in Cambodia. But it was really nice. It was nice to sort of see some things that like people had made that live locally, that from like the country that we're in. And to be honest, some of the stuff there was beautiful. It was very hard not to spend all of our money. We did get a few little bits. I don't actually have it because it's since broken. Doesn't sound good, but we did get a little like a wicker ring. Obviously as you're washing your hands all the time they just kind of fall apart, which is unfortunate because they're really nice. But we got a wicker ring. I bought like a few sort of toiletries that I was in need of, and Jim bought a really jazzy shirt, and I bought some trousers that we've been calling genie pants because they make me look like a genie. Most evenings we would end up finding ourselves wandering around the night markets, mostly just sort of like typical tourist things that every market sells the same things of, but it was nice to sort of wander around. And there is also like quite a big party scene there as well, so loads of like bars, fancy restaurants and stuff if that's what you're into. We chose to keep it a bit more low-key whilst we were there though, so we went for the sort of the cheaper food options, which were just as good. For us, the main draw of going to Siem Reap was obviously to visit Angkor Wat. You know, it's on the country's flag, we've got to check it out. We got picked up at like 4:20 in the morning by a lovely guy called Sally. He drove us to the ticket office, and you pay quite a lot of money. It was $37 when we went just for one day. We get back in the tuk-tuk and get driven to what we can only be told is Angkor Wat because at this point it's still pitch black. There was a guy there selling, like a street vendor selling sandwiches, so we sort of grabbed ourselves some breakfast and wandered up to the temple. And as we were walking up, so there's kind of a few spots obviously that you can sort of choose to stand and wait. There's a really popular bit which is just in front of the water, so loads and loads of people stand there because they want the reflection of Angkor Wat and the sunrise in the water. We chose to stand on like the main bridge because for us, like, it wasn't as busy, and also it meant that as soon as they opened the rope that you could go in, we were the first people that were actually inside the temple and the crowd wasn't so big. When we got inside, to be honest, it's obviously a beautiful temple. It's massive, it's really cool. For me, actually, my favourite thing about the temple are all like the tiny little details, and it's just like things that you could so easily walk past, but like the tiny little carvings of like little Buddhas and things that like carved into like the door frames and the walls and things like that. It was really like beautiful. So we wandered around there for a few hours, and then we sort of did the small loop, which means that we could have seen like 5 temples in one day with our tuk-tuk driver. To be honest, because we woke up so early, we were absolutely shattered, so we only ended up doing 4, but we were quite happy with that because it meant that we could really enjoy the 4 that we saw. The second stop was Tarpron. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, I don't know. But that's basically where the Tomb Raider film was set.
Do a Tomb Raider impression.
But the actual temple itself was, I personally think, like the most beautiful. Like seeing the trees, how they've sort of like grown like literally like through the stones at a point and like kind of taken over the temple almost as its own was just so cool, really cool to see. And a lot of it's actually fallen down as well, so you can see where there used to be like a hallway, and there's like maybe a tiny little bit that still remains, and the rest is just looks like rubble. And so it was really cool to sort of see that mix of like some of it was built really beautifully, some of it kind of fallen apart, and it was like a maze. Honestly, we got lost at one point. We were trying to leave because we were like, okay, cool, like seen this, let's go to the next one. And we just ended up like walking around in like this kind of big maze in the middle of the temple, and every corner we turned we were like, wow, this bit looks really cool, like I didn't realise there was more to this. So yeah, definitely I think both of our favourite temples. And the thing that I'm actually kind of glad that we went now to see it, because they're in the process of sort of trying to rebuild the temple, and I feel like maybe in a few years, once they fully rebuilt it, I'm sure they'll do a good job. But like I said, I kind of like that it was in its like kind of authentic form, you know, it's fallen down and this is how it looks now. So I don't know, maybe I won't like it as much once they put it all back together, but it's cool to see it as it is right now. After Taprom, we went to visit 2 other temples. I cannot remember the names of them right now, so Jim will pop the names on the screen as he shows like the footage of them. Again, like they were both beautiful temples, like everything that we visited that day was absolutely gorgeous, like full of detail, really beautiful, and it was just really nice to sort of walk through the areas and like take it all in and sort of see it all. So it was a really, really good day, but like I said, absolutely knackering. So by the end of it we were like, no more temples, we need a nap.
Bye, Sally.
Whilst we were in Siem Reap, I was also really, really keen to check out Apopo, who I'm sporting the top of today. So they do like humanitarian demining. Is that right? Humanitarian demining. Yeah. These are the charity that have giant pouch rats. So essentially what they're trying to do is uncover all of the like remaining landmines, of which there are still like loads. Accurate number there, loads, of which there are still loads from the civil war in Cambodia, particularly around the border between Cambodia and Thailand, essentially try and stop people escaping. And it was just such a great little outing. We spent about an hour there. We got to meet one of the giant pouched rats, who was really cute. I really don't like rats generally, but this one was adorable. And yeah, we just sort of had a look around. We had a guide who was brilliant. We asked him every question we could think of, and he like knew the answer straight away. He was really, really friendly, really helpful. And we also got to try out like what it's like to sort of have to detect something with your nose. So he made us smell like this little ball that had oregano in, and we had to smell like 10 different ones and try and like figure out which one was matching the original one we smelled. So it was quite fun. It was a really nice morning that we spent there. I thought Angkor Wat would be great, but wasn't expecting much else from Siem Reap, but no, really had like such a lovely time. Could have easily spent a few more days there than we did. I think I say that about everywhere, but you know, we visit a lot of great places. And yeah, that's the last video for Cambodia as well. Next up, you will see us when we go to Laos. Bye!